The moment sex enters your mind, it becomes a perversion.
Sadhguru Vasudhava.
Sex is just two opposites making an attempt to become one. The intention of sex is good, but the method is hopeless. Never are you going to really become one. All kinds of weird things people are trying to do in the name of sex, because somewhere they want to find some unity, but it won't happen. A few moments of fake unity will come and then people fall apart. It's bound to happen, isn't it? Physical entities can never become one. It doesn't matter how much they try. Now, I don't want any oneness, I'm just seeking pleasure. That is also okay. But it is just that you will see it's not enough. I am not saying there's anything wrong with it. It is just that just the physical pleasure is not enough. It wants something more. What is that something more? Something more than what this little person has become. Physical body means a bondage because in this vast existence, this little body is a separate entity. If you're identified only with this little body, then there is a sense of insecurity, there's a sense of feeling lost. I would say at least 60% of the sex in the world is happening out of insecurity and nothing else. Not out of love. Not even for pleasure. It is insecurity. Two bodies coming together feels little secure for at least a few moments. Most sex-based relationships are made because otherwise people are lost by themselves. It's not for love, it's not for joy, because there's some sense of security in two bodies coming together. To make a simple physical act beautiful, we have invented all kinds of decorations around it. Without those decorations, most people would be unwilling to get into this physical act. A lot of people cannot simply face the basic physical act as it is, because unless it's decorated, they will feel obscene, they will feel like an animal, they will feel so basic and physical, which is the reality. We are trying to cloud our vision of reality with lots of decorations. We always add emotion to it, because without emotion it would be ugly. Sexuality is invented by you. Sex is a natural thing, it's physical, it's there in the body. But sexuality is something that you invented, you created. It's psychological. There is no such thing. It is something created by you. If sex is in the body, it's fine. It's beautiful. The moment it enters your mind, it becomes a perversion. It has no business with your mind, it has something to do with your body. If it's in the body, it will just fall into its natural place where it belongs. It is a small aspect of you. But today, it has become a huge aspect. It has just become life itself. Today, this is sweeping the world. It is no more healthy, in so many ways it's become sick. If you look at the modern societies now, probably 90% of human energy is being spent either pursuing sex or avoiding sex, whichever way. If you look at a man and a woman, physiologically it is just a small difference. Like somebody said, either the pocket is in or the pocket is out. With one, the equipment is inbuilt, with one another, the equipment is hanging out. You made such a big issue out of it, you know. We made such a distinction between man and woman as if they are two separate species. No other creature on the planet has this kind of problem with their sex as man has. When they have it in their body, they have it, otherwise they're free from it. But with humans, it is on their mind all the time. Especially in the West, your religions went about denying a simple physical process to such an extent that they even have to make it so ugly that they could not accept the simple biology of a human being. How can there be liberation? How can there be freedom when you cannot even accept the biology of a human being? Instead of looking beyond the limitations of the biological process, we tried to deny the biological process. We went about saying, if somebody is holy, if somebody is really sacred, he cannot be born out of it, he is born without it. You don't have to make the biology sacred, nor do you have to make it filthy. It is simply there. It's life. It is through that you exist. If you know how to live it, without decorating it or without making it ugly, it has a beauty of its own. The biological process which you're referring to as sex is simply, fundamentally, it's reproductive. Even though this process is active in people in different levels, without the decorations of emotion, they were not willing to go through it. Unfortunately, in the Western countries, if you utter the word relationship, they'd simply think it has to be sex-based. With all the affluence, with all the comfort that has come to the Western societies compared to other parts of the world, you see so much more insecurity on people's faces than anywhere else in the world. The more and more you get identified with your physical body, the more and more insecure you become. Because this body is never safe. Next moment, it may be anything. Naturally, the need for sex will increase dramatically when people are insecure. As you get more and more identified with the body, sex or sexuality becomes more and more important. As you become less and less identified with the body, you will see the sex recedes. If you discover one day that actually in the other person there is no emotion, it is simply physical, suddenly you feel that you're being used. In sex-based relationships, what is usually passing off as love is just a mutual benefit scheme. You give me this, I'll give you that. If you don't give me that, I won't give you this. If you just see the simplicity of what it is, it'll become a simple part of your life. If you make it complex, it becomes an unnecessarily large part of your life. A spiritual process simply means seeking tools to go beyond the limitations of five sense perceptions and experience something more than the physical.